Hello Stratters, Nick here playing a match of Modern with Abzan Midrange. I'm going to go ahead and mulligan this hand. Single land with it being Temple Garden, not what we're looking for. Keep and see what we scry into. Yeah, I think that's perfectly reasonable. Kind of the other thing we'd want to see there is a discard or removal spell. Spark Elemental, so opponent is on the burnout plan. Play that. So I almost certainly want to lead off with Tarmogoyf in this matchup. I think Dark Confidant is not not what we're going for. It's awkward though because Tarmogoyf isn't the best blocker right now. If I had a fetch land, it'd be very easy to just play Tarmogoyf here. And the opponent didn't play an instant or sorcery to help us out. I think I'm going to play the Dark Confidant. It's definitely the more risky line of play, but especially since the opponent. Do I block here? I don't think I can. They have an instant. I'm not gonna. My Confidant will die. Be kind, Bob. Be kind. Okay, push not bad. Since the opponent is clearly stuck on lands and has a handful of spells, I want to push the Swift Spear, cast Tarmogoyf. We can wait to get Lilianna online for a little bit. This also clears an attack for the Dark Confidant. So we can start pushing damage through. It's also possible I should have played the Twilight Mire over the Swamp, since the Mire can filter in case we need an abundance of green mana for a potential draw on Scavenging Ooze. Oh, this is looking very bad. Well, guess we'll play Lilianna and discard a Verdant Catacombs. The opponent looks like a mono red burn deck from what we've seen, so I don't think there's really any chance that they're... Whoa, what is that? Browbeat. Well, if they're on a bunch of 3-drops, maybe we have a chance. I don't know. Guess we'll play that land. Probably never going to crack it. Browbeat, that's exotic even by the mono red burn deck standards, I think. Are we dead? Did we die? We're dead. Alright, so against this deck, we want to cut Thoughtseizes, and I think Dark Confidant. Dark Confidants come out. We bring in Kitchen Finks, we bring in Collective Brutality, and I like Eidolon of Rhetoric is kind of my card to round it out. Horn Turtle is just fine against these burn decks. It's a good blocker, and it also prevents them from... since we have a nice curve of spells, we can play 1-drops and 2-drops and 3-drops, and we have a good mix of instants and sorceries. We can cast spells on our turn and then use the rest of our mana on their turn. Sometimes they're very incentivized to to play multiple spells in a turn. So sometimes this other text can be relevant, but mostly it's just a 1/4 body, which is just the right kind of blocker for this match. Considering bringing in Blood Baron of Vizkopa just as a life linker, but that seems ambitious. What would I cut? Maybe Paths or Maelstrom Pulse isn't the best removal. I think this is fine on the play. Maybe I cut like a Path or a Maelstrom Pulse. Path's not very good early, and Maelstrom Pulse is expensive and a little clunky. I didn't see a lot of creatures, and I think these red decks typically play fewer. That's a tough call. I don't know. Well, maybe we will be discarding Blood Baron to a Collective Brutality. Maybe that's its lot in life for this game. Two modes. We for sure want Path. I think, yeah. We don't, yeah, this is just so far out of the way. It pains me because I love this card. That's what's really happening here. It's a sad, sad state of affairs. What do I care about the most? What does Browbeat even do? 5 damage, or they draw 3. Molten Rain could be annoying, but we're on the play and doesn't really deal a lot of damage. The kind of my color, if they want to screw or color screw me, is going to be probably getting planes off this Marsh Flats. So I think I'll take Skullcrack. Main phase Magma Jet, or they draw. Also nice that I discarded this Blood Baron. Eat it with Scavenging Ooze combo. Maybe. Maybe a little bit of a combo. I want to use as much mana as possible and cast these Lingering Souls. So I'm feeling alright about this game. Our damage output's going to be pretty similar to our opponent's. Could save some damage by blocking this, but I don't think that's really worthwhile. It's got trample, so it doesn't even really save a lot. And I want to cast Ooze right now. I wonder if they drew another Skullcrack. If I were them, I would be so tempted to snap off a land destruction spell. Yeah, this is... They're firing off burn at our creatures and we're gaining life. I feel like this is going to be well in hand. So I know they have a Browbeat, and I know that they have a Molten Rain. Molten Raining? Yeah, so they're destroying my plains, so it doesn't deal the 2 because it's not a non-basic land. Right now all I have that's a white card are these, I guess, multiple paths that I now drew, but we'll get this Tarmogoyf on the battlefield. It's the fastest clock, and I think we're in good shape. So we're ahead in the race. The opponent browbeats. Do I take the 5 or do I let them draw 3? I think I might let them draw just because that they will probably get 6 damage out of the cards that they draw with the browbeat, but it's going to require them to spend more mana and more time to deploy those cards. Ooh, ball lightning. Okay. I guess it's kind of annoying now that I don't have Path to Exile up. I think that's still fine then. Attack with all. And this will put a lethal amount of power in play. So they can't really cast Browbeat because they'll just get to draw some cards and it doesn't really do it for them. Magma Jet. I guess Magma Jet with Browbeat gives it a little bit more value, but not a ton. Like, yeah. I mean, even if they cast Browbeat now, I just say, okay, draw 3, attack for lethal. Like, that's not even... What does a Browbeat look like on Magic Online? Do you wish to take 5 damage? No, sir. I do not. Draw your cards. Swing for 8. What's your life total? 8. You die. And okay. So for this game, I don't want Blood Baron, especially if they're bringing in these land destruction effects. 5 drop on the draw when the opponent's packing land destruction doesn't seem what I want. Yeah, the rest of this does not seem great. Well, that sucks. I was hoping to play that one out. I don't know. I think games against Burn are often kind of close. I don't know. I don't particularly enjoy them as much as I do other decks. That's partially why I don't play a lot of decks like Burn. I like decks that can win when you draw a wide number of lands versus a deck like a Burn deck. It's often you draw 3 lands and you draw for the game and you win the match, and if you draw more than that, you typically start to lose the match, and if you draw less than that, you also typically will lose the match, assuming a reasonable game from your opponent. Yeah, I don't know why they didn't want to play that one out. I think, especially with them on the play, that they are pretty favored. And I don't have a ton of stuff to board in. Collective Brutality is good, Kitchen Finks is good, but if they snipe either of those cards with a Skullcrack, then that kind of determines the game too. Well, sorry that this one was a little bit anticlimactic, but I'll be back with another match, so stay tuned, Stratters.